Good afternoon. I apologize. It's been a while, about a month since our last shir, Lili Nishmas, in memory of Chana Devora Bas Avraham. Just with being busy for Pesach, as well as my daughter getting married. I just haven't had a chance to focus on the Ein Yaakov classes. Recently, we were going through the story of Rebbe Shimon by Yochai criticizing the Romans and being forced to go into hiding together with his son for 12 years. And where we ended was after he had emerged from the Ma'ara, after he had emerged from the cave. And the Gemara mentions how he met up with Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, who was either his father-in-law or his son-in-law, although it would seem father-in-law is a probably more correct designation. And Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was disturbed by the fact that Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai's skin was quite pitted because of the fact that he had sat for so many years in the sand, and he was crying about seeing him in that situation. And Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai said back to him, Ashrecha shero'isani b'kach. You're fortunate that you see me with my skin in this condition. Shel mole lo re'isani b'kach lo matzasa b'kach. Because if you did not see me in this condition, you also would not find in me the level of Torah study that I have today. The me'ikara, because prior to Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai's entering into the cave, ki havi makshi Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai kushya, when Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai would pose a question, Hava Bafarak le Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair Tresar Piruki. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair would respond with 12 answers. If they were studying some Gemara and Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai had a question, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair would be able to give him 12 answers. But Lipsof, at the end, when Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai exited the cave, Kiavi Makshi Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair Kushya, where Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair would pose a question, Hava Mefarik le Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai would be able to respond to him with Esrin Varba Piruki, with 24 responses. And in the Sefer Divrei Torah, the Munkacher Rebbe is kind of puzzled by this Gemara, because he says this Gemara is indicating that Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai had grown substantially in his study of Nigla, of the revealed Torah, such that he was so much greater in his understanding of the revealed Torah that he had surpassed Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, who previously had been greater than he was. And he's kind of troubled the Munkacher, because in the Zohar, it gives the impression that Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai's primary study while he was in the cave was in the hidden portions of the Torah. So which one is it? Now he says, while of course we should assume that Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai spent time immersed in the study of both the revealed as well as the hidden portions of the Torah, but he's trying to understand what was his primary focus. And the Munkacher then mentions how it's brought down that the Arizal, who obviously lived more than 1,000 years after Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, that when he would study Torah, he would first present 6 approaches to understanding the Gemara he was learning. from a Nigla perspective, and then one perspective from Nister, a Kabbalistic approach to understanding the Gemara. But he says, why is it that the Gemara seems to ignore completely Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai's study of the secrets of the Torah? And I mean, the Gemara does talk about such studies in other places, like in the second Perek of Chagiga. So why is it being ignored in this context? So the Munkatcher wants to offer a suggestion, and I'm going to offer a bit of a slightly different suggestion. He wants to say that in Kabbalistic thought, we are taught in a number of places that when we learn Nigla, the revealed portions of the Torah, and we pose questions and we resolve them, we are not only presenting solutions and advancing the cause of the revealed Torah, but the questions and difficulties that we find when we are presented with the revealed Torah, those represent klipos, shells that prevent us from also getting to the depth of understanding of this Torah from a Kabbalistic perspective as well. So Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai's development of his learning, so that he was so much greater developed in his ability to resolve issues in the revealed Torah, that's why there was commensurate growth as well in his understanding of the hidden Torah. So that's one approach that the Munkatcher presents to understanding the division of Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai's development while he was in the Ma'ara, while he was in the cave. I would just like to present a somewhat different approach, which the Munkatcher himself alluded to, and that is as follows. In today's world, there are many people who endeavor to study Kabbalah without a firm grounding in Nigla, in the revealed portions of the Torah. For many reasons, that's a very dangerous approach to take, because there are certain perspectives and understandings that are underlying the Kabbalistic teachings, which one might be lacking if he just goes straight to the Kabbalah, and consequently, it frequently leads to a misunderstanding of Kabbalah. But even in, let's say, someone has a very strong teacher who will prevent him from developing misunderstanding, but at the very least, there is no way possible for one to gain a full appreciation of the secrets of the Torah without someone first having a full appreciation of the revealed portions of the Torah. I will just mention on myself, especially because someone just asked me about this offline the other day. Before I ever began to study any of the Kabbalistic portions of the Torah, I first completed the entire Talmud with a number of major commentaries 3 times. And even though it says you should learn Shas and Poskim, and I guess I'm guilty of not having gone through all the halachic works as well, but that's the proper way to go ahead and get to the secrets of the Torah. And that's why Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai, as much as he grew and developed in the secret portions of the Torah, but growth and development in the revealed portions of the Torah had to go hand in hand with his ability to grow in the secrets of the Torah. Then the Gemara goes on, and I'm going to share with you today something very fascinating that I noticed in the next Gemara, something which, to the extent that I researched it, I did not find any of the commentators mentioning whatsoever. But I feel that it really opens up for us a very key point in understanding the story of Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai. And I'm just going to present what I discovered, and we'll develop it, Emir Hashem, God willing, in the next class later this week. Amar, Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai said, Hoil visrachish nisa, since a miracle occurred, Azil askin milsa, I have to go and institute something. Meaning, as we're going to see in a moment, Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai used Yaakov Avinu as an example of doing this. If a miracle occurred, I can't just say thank you for the miracle and move on. I have to do something concrete to show my thanks and appreciation for the miracle. Dichsiv, because we find that after Yaakov miraculously succeeded in escaping from the clutches of Lavan, Vayovo Yaakov Sholeh. It says that Yaakov came to the city of Shechem whole, complete, unblemished by his dealings with Lavan. V'amar Rav, and Rav explained he was Sholem begufo, he was physically complete. Sholem b'mamono, he was financially complete. And Sholem b'toraso, he was spiritually complete as well. Vayichan es pnei ha'ir, he surveyed the city. What does that mean? Amar Rav, Rav said matbeya tiket, he instituted coinage, lahem, for the people of Shechem. Ushmuel Amar, and Shmuel said shvakim tikein lahem. The Yaakov Avinu instituted markets for the people of Shechem. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Rabbi Yochanan said merchatzaos tikein lahem. He instituted bathhouses for the people of Shechem. Amar, so therefore Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai said, I want to be like Yaakov Avinu. A miracle occurred to me. I need to institute something that will benefit the people around me. Ika milsa deboi litkuni. Is there something here that needs to be rectified? And here is the insight that I promised you, that as I said, I have not seen in any of the commentators, but after it hit me, I realized that this is an important key to understanding the conclusion of the entire story. At the end of the story, Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai wants to take an example from Yaakov Avinu, who instituted one of three things, either coinage or markets or bathhouses. And if we go all the way back to the beginning of the story, where Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai got himself into trouble, how did the story begin? Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai was sitting together with Rebbe Yehuda and Rebbe Yossi. And Rebbe Yehuda started praising the Romans. What did Rebbe Yehuda praise the Romans for? Three things. They instituted markets. The Romans had built bridges, and the Romans had built bathhouses. And now what's Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai saying? I need to take an example from Yaakov Avinu. Because what did Yaakov do? Yaakov built a bathhouse. Yaakov built markets. And the third one, which isn't the exact same as what the Romans had done, which was instituting a coinage, but we did discuss at the beginning of the story that the reason why the Romans built bridges was in order to be able to collect taxes. That certainly sounds like it parallels this thing over here that Yaakov Avinu did by instituting a coinage. So I'm going to leave you right now today with this thought. Isn't it fascinating that all the way at the end of the story, after criticizing the Romans for instituting these things, Rebbe Shimon bar Yochai is now turning around and taking what seems to be the exact same three things that Yaakov Avinu instituted as a lesson. How does this all connect? I'll see you later this week.